Wakey wakey eggs and bakey. This intro is by Ash. I'm going to warn you right now that this video is ranty and angry. So if you're not in a mood to listen to angry Ash be angry at people that they probably should just ignore, I totally know that. But easier known than done sometimes. If you're not in the mood to listen to Angry Ash Be Angry, this is not the video for you. And I won't blame you. If you'd rather, go play a board game with your partner, good on ya. This video won't put you in a good mood. But it will answer the question, will my boobs grow back? Spoiler, no they won't. Jesus. Hey everyone. Oh my gosh, what is that? Okay, look at this. You see that tractor? Whatever the fuck it's doing. It's been tractoring all day long. I spent literally 5 hours trying to film a video. I filled this entire 64 gig memory card, and a lot of it was just fucking sitting there waiting for it to stop fucking beeping. The tractor. I thought it was just the garbage trucks, because it was garbage day. We have 3 garbage days a week in my neighborhood, so I can't just not film on garbage day because it's every other fucking day is garbage day. I'm not in a good mood. So I went through, and you can be like, well, just stop filming when it starts beeping. Great idea. I did that a lot, so good idea though. Sorry, none of you said that, but to any ghost who said that, I've replied to you in a sassy manner. So I filled this 64 gig memory card. Do you know how long it takes to film one 64 gig memory card? It takes a long time, and I did it trying to film one video. Keyword trying, I did not succeed. Why didn't I succeed? Because I have really broken camera batteries. It's really fun. I just ordered 2 new ones, and they arrived, but they arrived just as broken as my broken ones, so that's fun too. And they just, they like to not warn me when they're going to die and die randomly. They'll be like, oh, we're at 3 out of 4 bars of battery. Dead. And it's well, that seems misleading. And so, I went through 3 of them. I killed them all. They started full and then they died. So that's how long you can imagine I tried to film one video. It took 3 full batteries, kind of. They were broken though, and a 64 gig memory card. It's a grand total of 5 hours. And the last battery died moments after I said the very last line of the script. Hallelujah, thank God, right? At least I got through it. Nope! Because, big chunks of the script are missing because there were certain times when the camera died, and it's not like what it was filming when it died. It's just it's not like it stops recording and I still get to keep it all until it died. Nope. Whatever it was filming when it died became corrupt. So I lost really huge chunks of the script. So it's really fun for me, and I'm really excited to try to film again tomorrow. And on top of it, Instagram's just being ridiculous right now. People are trying to convince me they're wrong. I'm going to straight up tell you right now, if you think this, you're wrong. If you feel like you read it somewhere, okay, fair enough. You feel like you read it somewhere, wherever you read it was incorrect. You probably read it on Reddit, or just someone's blog, or you probably just read it from some goofball just typing things they don't know anything about. So if you feel like, oh, I think I've heard that somewhere, okay. Before you go to spread this misinformation, because that's what it is, re-Google it, do a re-Google, and try to find a source. And if you can find a source, then fair enough. Then you're right, and I'm wrong. But I'm not wrong, because I'm not. I'm not, well, I could be wrong. I really doubt it, though, because I've asked 3 different surgeons, and the 3 surgeons that I've asked, have all told me, no, it's impossible, don't worry about it. And the question is, if you're not on hormones, can your chest regrow after top surgery? Can my boobs grow back after top surgery? I'm going to tell you right now, the answer is no. It is impossible. unless there's like a weird fluke, or there are circumstances where regrowth could happen, but it's like really out there circumstances. One, the surgeon would have had to make a major mistake, a huge mistake. Because when you have top surgery, 95% of the breast tissue is removed. The 5% that's left is, and every surgeon tells me this. This is like the standard of care. And for WPATH, which is the standards of like trans, it's the standard of care for trans people. These are like rules. And by rules, I mean laws. Standards of care are like laws. They're like what has been decided to be the standard of care. So that is like the typical standard of care for like a cosmetic double mastectomy or like top surgery double mastectomy is for 95% of the breast tissue to be removed. You don't really like, there's no like actual like video game meter where the top surgeon's in there and then all of a sudden it goes to 95%. It's not like exact, but about 95% is removed. And the 5% that's left, that is not enough for regrowth to happen. I even asked, one of the surgeons I even asked, and I believe it's on tape on my YouTube channel, so source, my surgeon, the one that I went with, Dr. Garmoni, I asked, okay, so no regrowth. That's great, because I'm not on testosterone. What if I get pregnant? What if I get super pregnant and I have all the estrogen? Then, challenge accepted, boobies, can they grow back then? And he was like, no. It's not going to happen. No regrowth. So, there's only 5% of breast tissue left, not enough for regrowth. Not even a nice big old pregnancy can kickstart some regrowth. Ryan Casada, he's not on T. Have you seen his chest grow back over the years? Nope. So there's a source for you too. It's not gonna happen. So the only way for regrowth to happen was, one, the surgeon would have to be like inexperienced, make a huge mistake, leave a ton of breast tissue behind. So that would be like a fluke. Then it would have to be like intentional. So a breast reduction and not top surgery. And then the other thing is, I don't know, I'm making this one up, and I, unlike a lot of people on Instagram, will admit when I'm just making stuff up. I'm making this up. I imagine that if you like have some kind of hormone condition where, no, I don't even think that's real. See, when you make stuff up, it doesn't make any sense. There's probably some really bizarre circumstance where like a lot of really unique things could happen and regrowth maybe could occur. But for the most part, no. My doctor was the one that I went with, my surgeon, was so bold as to say it was impossible. And that is from somebody who does over 500 top surgeries a year. So that's a pretty good source, huh? Right. So, and it all started because somebody asked, like, could that happen? That is a fair question. Or somebody didn't even ask that. Somebody just asked if I was going on T. That's what they asked. Totally not really your business, but whatever. Like, that's not what we're talking about. I wasn't upset at the question. But then somebody just came back with like, they don't plan on going on T. And when you don't go on T, your boobs can grow back. And this person just like hops on my Instagram all the time and makes shit up. It's so annoying. They posted this huge post that was like, Ash has never, ever had their gender dysphoria diagnosed. False. Not that it's any of your motherfucking business. I have 2 signed documents that note a persistent gender dysphoria within me from 2 medical professionals. One of them is a doctor, like a doctor, like, you know, a doctor. And the other one is a therapist, which is also a kind of doctor. But some of you are really like, oh, you could just convince the therapist to sign anything. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll make you happier to know that one of them is a doctor and one of them is a therapist. So there's 2 different people who have signed the letter. And I've talked about my gender dysphoria with 3 people. My old therapist being the other one. So I have had conversations with 3 medical professionals in depth about my gender dysphoria. But this person was so bold to just be like, I don't like Ash because they've never seen a gender therapist and their gender dysphoria isn't diagnosed. Also, their boobs are going to grow back. Like, these are just, like, flagrant lies. I like, and the problem is this person is, like, really young. So I just need to let it go. Really young. They're, like, 14. But when nobody knows that when they're on Instagram. They just see, like, other people on Instagram reading stuff just see a profile and they don't, like, go to click the profile and, like, fact check. See, this is the tractor's back. See it? Being a tractor. Today was not a good day to film. I'm super crabby today. So, and what I dislike the most is that it's none of your business if I go to a gender therapist. But also, like, if you know anything about me, you should definitely know that. Because I've talked about therapy more than once on my channel. I have, like, entire dedicated videos about therapy. So you know that I go to therapy, and you know that this year I started specific gender therapy. So it's not hidden information. It's not that hard to find. But also, it's none of your business. And I hate that, like, people just make up stories about me. They're like, you know what? You know what Ash seems like? Ash seems like someone who's never been to therapy. They just seem like an SJW, like, non-binary person who just, like, doesn't care about facts and is only about feelings. And I just don't like when people never go to therapy and they just decide that they're, like, blanket gender. And I want to look at them and be like, when did I say that? When did I say I've never been, like, gone to therapy? Also, like, none of this fucking affects you. So just, like, let me live my life. But, like, I just apparently seem a certain way. So people just, like have the audacity to make up shit about me. Like, they aren't doctors, but they feel that they can just, like, make up this phenomenon that my boobs will grow back. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's the same as, like, why when somebody who's a cancer survivor gets a double mastectomy, their boobs don't grow back. That's why they pay thousands of dollars in reconstruction. Sometimes. So Grace might have to have a double mastectomy, and we looked up the cost. We were doing it last night. And did you know the cost for a double mastectomy plus reconstruction? Grace wouldn't get the reconstruction, but I found this information out because of my research last night. This is just the research of some Google searches. It costs like $40,000 to $50,000 for a double mastectomy plus reconstruction. Nobody would pay that much money if their boobs could just grow back. And it's, like, kind of the same logic as, like, amputees. Like, you lose a finger, it's not gonna grow back. We're not like sponges. My boobs aren't gonna grow back. You're making it up. It just makes sense to you in your mind. You're like, oh yeah, well, trans women, when they start estrogen, they grow boobs. So I've decided that that's the same with top surgery patients who aren't on testosterone. It makes sense to me, so I've decided it's true. No, you can't do that. You can't be like, well, that seems right, so I'm going to say it as if it's true. Because you're spreading misinformation. You're like, you can't just fucking, like, be so confident as to guess stuff and present it as if it's true. Well, Ash doesn't seem like they have gender dysphoria. It's not the same that I have, so they probably aren't diagnosed. No. It might seem like that, but you can't just say it, because you don't know. And you can't just say things. You can't just say things that are, like, important and impactful and affect the way that people treat me and see me. Like, people are so much more abusive to me when they think certain things about me. So it, like, really is harmful and impactful when you, like, spread lies. So stop fucking thinking I seem a certain way and then saying I am a certain way unless you, like, have it proven. Unless you know that I've never had my gender like, a lot of people think that I also, this is so ridiculous too, think I got top surgery on informed consent. Nope! That's a really easy Google search to find out too. So maybe don't just say that. Like, don't just say shit. You can't just say shit. Because it's a lie. And that's the thing. And a lot of the people that, like, critique me too, they're all about, like, science and sources and facts. And then they just make crap up. It's so easy to know that I didn't just get my top surgery on informed consent because it's been very apparent that I've been working with Dr. Garamoni. And if you don't believe me, send him an email. Because if he responds, he's a very busy guy, but if he responds, he'll tell you the truth. Also, like, I have his voice on tape. Oh, and I'm going to get his person on tape. I'll release that soon, too. So you can't, because I'm working with Dr. Garamoni, and Dr. Garamoni doesn't operate on informed consent. So stop saying I got my operation on informed consent. Stop it. Also, stop saying that immediately. You just guess shit, and you're wrong. You're like, oh, it makes me so angry. Because people are like, facts, not feelings. And it's like, so stop feeling like a thing is a certain way and then presenting it as a fact. You're such a hypocrite. Such a hypocrite. Ugh. Okay, so I will, when I'm crabby like this, the video always gets many more dislikes than normal. So I'm going to predict that right now. I understand that it's not attractive to be angry. And I know that. And I know that I know that a lot of the comments are just going to be like, ignore people. It's so much easier said than done. Trust me, I know that I should ignore people. Sometimes you can't. Especially when people are just making stuff up about you. And the problem, and what's really annoying, it's almost even more annoying, the fact that they're spreading lies, is they believe their own lies. And it's like, but you're wrong. And then even when you come back and correct them, then they're like, oh, well, I thought. And it's like, exactly. And you were wrong. So have you learned anything? Somebody literally on Instagram, I was like, nope. What you said is absolutely incorrect, and the reality is the opposite. And they were like, oh, well, I thought it was the other way, so that's why I said it. And I was like, obviously, duh, you wouldn't. I know you thought that, which is why I'm correcting you. And they didn't even come back with like, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I should think before I just spread ideas. Or maybe I should double check before I just put info out there that I'm not sure of. There was no I'm sorry, or I messed up, or in the future I'll do it different. It was just like, oh, well, okay, so it's not how I said, but I said it like that because that's what I thought, so I don't understand what the problem is. I was wrong before because I believed the thing that was wrong, okay? It's like, oh my gosh. So, and you just want to and if they were straight up liars, which some of them I'm probably sure are, and I don't really care about them, because at that point I just don't care. Okay, you're a bad person. You're purposefully spreading lies about me. All right. But when they believe their own lies because they don't take 4.5 seconds to do any kind of research or checking, and they're so confident in themselves, overconfident in themselves and their own assumptions that they'll just say things out there, that's when I just want to be like, no, you're wrong. You're not even you're just wrong. Because if they were, like I said, if they just had the intent to lie, well, then they're a horrible person. I really don't care too much about what horrible people think. Anyway, so, okay, like I was saying, I know this isn't everyone's favorite kind of video. I get that. And I know that when I post an angry video like this, I feed into this, SJW stereotype, but that's silly, because everybody gets angry like this. I'm not angry because I'm an SJW. I've been super happy recently. You've caught the, moment where I've been angry. Hopefully I get it. I know you don't, this isn't everybody's favorite kind of video, but it's important because, one, it's good to, rectify. Also, here's another thing. If I had never seen a gender thing, I'm not even going to get into that. Basically, all the stuff that I said to defend myself, I've been to gender therapy and my gender dysphoria is diagnosed. I don't owe you that information. And I hate that I have to, like, wave that around to defend myself. So if you're a human being who, like, wants to keep whether or not they've been to therapy private, somebody literally tried to get my therapist out of me on Twitter. I think it was the same person. I'm almost positive it's the same person on Instagram right now. They were like, if you've really been to therapy, who's your therapist? And I was like, no. And they were like, oh, so... I mean, you're willing to put out that you're going to therapy, but not willing to put out your therapist's name? Why else would you just offer the information that you've been to therapy unless you'd be willing to back it up? And I was like, you honestly, like, there's, like, laws that protect my privacy, and you honestly think you're above these laws, or you think that, like, you think I owe you the name of my therapist? We're gonna go for a no. That's how just out there some people are. So so I know that I was very, like, open and defensive about the fact that I have been to therapy and that my gender dysphoria has been, like, documented by 2 different professionals. If you are a person who doesn't feel the need to share that information or isn't comfortable, like, confirming or denying or giving the details of your diagnosis or giving the details of your therapy, fucking good on ya. Like, you don't owe that to anybody, and I don't think that you need to share that in order to be valid. So I just wanted to put that out there. Honestly, the biggest reason I'm angry is because filming went poorly. So this is a 20-minute video about how I had a very bad day and then went on Instagram and people were like, your boobs are gonna grow back. And I was like, no. And they were like, no, I think they will. And then I was like, science says no. And they were like, oh, but it makes sense to me that they would. And I was like, okay, but again, science. And they're like, okay, well, why are you so angry? And I was like, because you're telling me my boobs are going to grow back based on nothing, based on your feelings. Facts, not feelings, right? Isn't that what you say to me all the time? Okay, if you didn't like this video, don't worry. I feel ya. I get ya. I don't like being angry either, but I think it's kind of important. This video is going to, like, someone's going to, like, rip it and reply to it, like, angry, SJW, like, something. Whatever. Being an SJW isn't what's making me angry right now. My broken camera is what's making me angry, and being a human is what's making me angry. We all get angry sometimes. Today I'm angry. If watching this video didn't make you feel better, I apologize for you. That's a bummer. Why'd you make it this far? You should have stopped watching. Hopefully my next video is happier. That's going to be the intention. Hopefully tomorrow goes better. And also... Oh my gosh, sorry, I was just distracted because my boobs almost grew back. No, they didn't, because that's impossible! If you think boobs can grow back, please give me a source. Source it! Don't say you read it somewhere. That means nothing to me. Okay, I gotta go. Oh, sorry, my boobs almost grew back. That's gonna be like the new thing. Like, I'm gonna be trying to do something and I'll be like, oh, sorry, I felt like my boob was gonna grow back. It's not gonna grow back! And here, one last thing. This video is never going to end. If you ever wondered, can boobs grow back? I don't think you're a bad person. The question, in your own head, privately, is not something to feel guilty about. Something to feel bad about is going to a person who just had top surgery and saying, your boobs will grow back. They will. It's going to happen. I don't actually know if that's true, but I'm telling you. That's what's bad. So don't feel guilty if you've been, because I wondered too. That's why I asked all the surgeons I talked to. If I didn't have the same pondering, I wouldn't have asked. So, I don't want you to feel bad if you wondered that. I don't want that to be the message that's come across. You're not bad if you've wondered. It's an interesting question. But just like telling somebody that their boobs will grow back based on nothing is what maybe don't do that one. So tomorrow's video will be happier. Thank you so much for being patient with me on the days that I am angry. It means a lot to me. Okay, bye!